Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, welcome. It's been a little while since I've posted, and no real reason why except that I just decided to enjoy some time away from crafting and video making and video editing. Did a little bit of traveling. Was in Hawaii for a little bit, which was fantastic. Came back, still not in the mood to be in my craft room, and today decided to change that I need to kind of get my mind back into this room and continue the many projects I am working on, number one. Number two, continuing to destash. A lot of destashes coming up, my friends, so be on the lookout for that. And also, there is at least one challenge that I want to participate in. So I thought I would make that my first video. So this video is going to be me making, hopefully, a couple of items for a challenge that is being hosted by Annie Creates. I learned about the challenge from Rosa, who is Sun and Moon Arts here on YouTube. I will link both of their channels down below so that you can check them out. Annie is having an ATC challenge. Very simple. Make an ATC and mail it to her. She's asking, do not send her any extra goodies, which totally appreciate. Sounds like she's in the process of thinning down what she has as well. So I am going to make an ATC and just a card to put my ATC in. That's all I'm sending. So the challenge, Annie's challenge, is open until June, so there is plenty of time to participate. She is opening it up to US and international because, if I recall correctly, she has a PayPal prize. So that's fantastic. Again, I will link Annie's channel down below. Check her out, and you can get more of the details yourself and subscribe. Let's support each other. Now, my ATC. I love making ATCs. I love making cards. I haven't done both in quite some time, so I decided to just work with some stuff that was on my table, and I also pulled out some stamps that I previously stamped, colored, and I believe I used Copics for these. I cut them out using my Cricut, and then I put them away. So I stored them in these little containers. I have quite a few of these little containers stored, or stuffed, I should say, with random stuff. I went in and I pulled out my Gorjuss girls. I love Gorjuss girls. I haven't played with my Gorjuss girls in a long time. And I haven't hosted. I used to host a Gorjuss girl giveaway every year, and I just haven't done that in a while either. So something to revisit, I suppose. But for today's video, I'm going to make the card and I'm going to make an ATC. I kind of have an idea of what I want to make. I was doing a little bit of a dress rehearsal with some things, and it's a little bit different for me. The style's a little different than what I normally do, but I'm going to try it. So I have these card bases. I got a pack of them some time ago. I pulled out a card base. So my card is going to be standard A2 size. What is that? 5.5, 4 1/4. So that's the canvas I'm working on for the card. And then of course the ATC is going to be the 2.5 by 3.5. My gosh, it's been so long since I've done an ATC. I had to think about that one. But that's what I'm working with. I had some vintage wallpaper on my desk. That's what this is. And I also had some doilies on my desk. So all very pretty. And I think the pieces I have work well. And if they don't, well, at least I tried, but I think they work well. So let's get to this. Let's start with, I think I'm going to start with the card and see how far I get with that in this video. So here's my base. As I said, this is from a pack of It's like one of those pre-scored card making stacks. I bought it from Tuesday Morning, long time ago. I really loved this green color, so we're going to go with that. The paper is a little bit lighter than, in terms of weight, than what I like to work with when making cards, but I figured with the layering I will be doing, it will become a little heavier. At least I think it will. So the papers are pre-scored and they're perforated, so all you have to do is pull it out. I don't like, you see that perforated edge there? Don't like it. So I have a little sanding block, so I'm just going to get rid of those little nubbies. Don't like the nubbies. So we don't have nubbies anymore. I think I'm going to use some vintage photo, do a little bit of inking, because why not? I'm not going to use the distress ink, but instead I'm going to use the archival distress photo and start with that. I have an idea of the sentiment I want to use, so I will try to just be mindful of the fact that I still have to add a sentiment to the card and leave some room for that, but I don't think I'm going to have time in this video to figure out the sentiment. So I'm just going to lightly ink the edges for no other reason than that's what I like to do. And so why not do what I like to do, right? So I hope everyone is doing well. Like I said, I've decided to just take a little bit of time away, enjoy doing some other things outside of the house. Did a little bit of traveling. We ended up in Hawaii, which is fantastic. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted some videos and photos of EO Valley, which was fantastic, and already I've managed to ink up the base of my card. So we will cover this side and just leave that for the back. So it was beautiful, never seen anything like it. Here is some vintage wallpaper. I used my deco, my decal, not deco, my decal cutter, and trimmed it down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to ink that up a little bit, not too much. I think the problem why I'm getting ink everywhere is because you see my inking tool, my blending tool is pretty chewed up, and there's no reason why I just can't replace that other than I'm being lazy. And the consequence is that I'm getting little bits of it falling off and getting ink everywhere. So I guess the moral of that story is don't be lazy. Notice I still haven't changed it, right? So I'm going to practice. I'm not going to practice what I'm preaching, I should say. So add that there. I think that'll look really pretty. Question is, what kind of glue do I want to use? I think I should be okay with my Monotombo liquid glue. Yeah, I should be okay with this one, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. You will be hearing a lot of noise in the background. I apologize for that. That's just spring is in the air and things around the house have to get done once spring hits. A lot of weeding needs to be done, planting, in the backyard, power washing. So I have my husband working on his to-do list, and so that's what all the noise is. So I think that looks really pretty. That looks really pretty. That'll be the back, if I can keep it clean. Then I had this doily, which I absolutely love. It's been sitting on my desk. I've been wanting to use it. Haven't really found a project for it now, but I think this project will work. So I was thinking something like this. Of course, I need a ground. I like to ground my images. I just don't like them floating. And then I have this Gorjuss girl, one of the minis. I don't know her name. I colored her quite a long time ago using my Copics, and I used my Cricut. I was experimenting with my scanning cut to see if the scanning cut would be able to cut out these images. And it was kind of like a 50-50 mix. 50% of the images I tried to cut using my scanning cut were butchered by my scanning cut. And this is one of the few that survived. So, and she survived without missing any parts. For whatever reason, you see my scanning cut was, you see the little light ribbons in the hair? My scanning cut was cutting those out. So she is one of the few images that survived with her hair ribbons intact. So I'm thinking something like that. Something like that. And then I will have room on the bottom for a sentiment. So let's commit. I should probably do the bottom first, I would think. I'll do the bottom first. Oh, I guess I should do the top first. That way I know how high to bring the bottom. And I could, I suppose, wrap this around to the back and just use the entire card. The entire doily. It's so pretty. Let's try to do that. Let's try. Why not? And I think for this one, I don't want the liquid glue to stain the doily. So I think I'm just going, I will use my ATG. Let's use the runner. I have to be careful. I don't want it to rip. I might have to do a little bit of extra gluing. Okay, so here's the point of no return. You either get this right or you figure out how you're going to clean up any mess up. No, I think I wanted it this way. I want those dark edges on the front side of the card. Pretty. It's a little off center maybe, not sure. But that's okay. I have my scissors. I will do some trimming. Could be a little off center, or maybe I'm off centered. Who knows? It's handmade. It's not going to be perfect. That's the best thing about handmade. There we go. I think that looks really pretty. I will have to do a little extra gluing back here because I did manage to rip the doily a little bit, and I would hate for this to come undone. So just a couple of spots of glue back here, and I should be okay. Perfect. So that looks pretty on the back, and here's the front. And then what I think we will do, boy, that machine he's using is pretty loud. You hear it? So I'm going to put her I think like that. I think that works. She's grounded. She's on a swing. Okay, so let's ink this, and maybe I'll grab a different yeah, I'll grab a different inker so I don't have the little mess from that other one. I think what I will do is maybe just do the card in this video and do the ATC in a separate video so this doesn't go too long. Yeah, I think that works. Lower it maybe a little bit so that you can see. No, I kind of like it higher. We are going to go with that. Now, originally, I thought I would just have the doily, not the doily, just the wallpaper in the background. But then I felt like she was getting a little too lost. She was blending in a bit much into the background. So here she is, right? Here's the wallpaper. I thought if I just put her on there like that, she wasn't popping as much as I wanted her to. So that's when I decided to use the doily, which covers up, there we go, some of the wallpaper, but you can still see the wallpaper behind the doily, and you can see it through the doily right here. So I kind of like that. And as for that ground image, what I did was I took another sheet of that same base. I used my little cheapy scissors here. I don't even think these are Fiskar. I don't know what they are. Photo, what is it? Provo Craft. And I just cut a piece of that off just so that it would match, the base on the front would match the back. And also just add another layer of cardstock, just making this a tad bit heavier, which is what I prefer. I think I will add her there. She is so cute. So I want her off to the side. And maybe we can put the sentiment here, or do I want her center and we put the sentiment down here? Ay, ay, ay. Decisions. You know what? I'm just going to stick with what I originally planned and not change my mind. It might be helpful if I knew what the sentiment was going to be, but it's usually, at least for me, the way it works is I make my project first and then I decide on what the sentiment is. Where is the day? Where is the day that my sentiment dictates my project? It happens sometimes, but especially with card making, I find I make the card first and then figure out the sentiment later. I don't know. How do you do it? Does your sentiment dictate your project, or inspire your project, or is it the other way around? yeah, I think I'm going to, yep, I'm going to stick her down the middle. And I think what I might do is ink her up a little bit too, just because from the I believe I colored these on heavy mixed media paper. So you can see a lot of the white on the raw edges here. So let's kind of tap that down a little bit. Better. I haven't done Copic coloring in a long time either. I need to get back into that. I think the reason why I haven't been in my craft room so much, I just hasn't been a happy space for me, is because right now it's in a little bit of a state of chaos because I am decluttering and destashing. I have things out of place and that kind of trips my mind. I'm a very organized person and I don't like to see mess, and mess is to me very chaotic, and it's just I think it's messing with me. So I need to get my tush into high gear and finish decluttering so that I can get back into my room. And I think this card is done. Maybe a little more inking on the top, right up there on both sides. I can go ahead and stamp my maker mark if I wanted to right here. And I think she's done. I think she's done. Isn't she pretty? Of course, I will have to mat the inside because I managed to get smudges everywhere. Ugh, no fun. No fun when you get smudges where you don't want them. But that is the card. I will finish the card, take some photos, and probably use it as a thumbnail for this video, and probably post some photos on my Instagram as well. So that is my card, my friends. We are at, what are we at? We are at 23 minutes. So I think I'm going to stop this video here and do a separate video for the ATC. So if you would like to see me make the ATC, be sure to check that video out. And of course, follow the link down below. Go check out Annie's challenge. It's very simple. And I think it would be awesome if we all just rallied and supported her channel. So thank you, my friends. I will catch you all in the next video. Until next time, bye bye.